Hey guys, welcome to Vine Life. Gina here. I was in the middle of surrendering um, something that was important to me today, and I really got to thinking about surrender and what walking with the Lord over the last few years have looked like. And I really felt like the Lord was kind of prompting me to talk about it. So, this episode is going to be about surrender and what it looks like. Um, the thing about waking up to love is that it starts to uproot and uncover things in your life that are not love. And so there's a lot of heartache attached. There's a lot of unlearning of the things that you thought you knew, the things, even the revelations you thought you had. You know, the thing about the Lord is there's always a deeper revelation. And so we can't live on yesterday's revelation, even. We have to have fresh manna. We have to have a fresh, what's the word? Indwelling of his spirit every day. We have to seek him every day. It's his mercies that are new every morning. And so that means every day is different. Every day is new. And so we can't live off of the things that once were, no matter how good they are or how recent. And so when I started to wake up to love, I really started to see some unhealthiness in my life, where I had made wrong decisions, where I had made selfish decisions that hurt not only myself, but people that I loved. And so there was this ruination, this kind of breaking down of this world that I had created in my own strength. And the thing about it is God is so good. You know, he pours out on the just and unjust, and he has chosen to dwell among men. So he's put his spirit in his believers. And the thing about that is we can actually use him to do things that are not of him, or we can start off with him and then leave him behind, and we can keep going, and we can build this whole system that he's absent of. And that's what I did with my life. I didn't know. It was in ignorance, but we are all without excuse, you know? And so I'm not saying that from a place of condemnation. I'm saying that from a place of recognizing that once you start to walk with the Lord, it's going to unmask some ugly things that are in your heart. Because it's not about your circumstance, and it's not about the situations that you're in. It's not even about the people that you surrounded yourself with. It's about your internal walk with the Lord and what he has called you to be, which is his, which is his, which is just his beloved. We have been called to be sons and daughters of the Most High. And so when we have that call and we start walking in it, you know, I don't know about people listening to this, but I had so much just affirmation and confirmation when I really started to walk with the Lord, because I've always known the Lord. I've just been rebellious. That's not a boast, that's a rebuke. But I have always heard the voice of the Lord, and I always knew that he was with me. And so there were certain aspects of things like religion that people would try to put on me that wouldn't work, because I knew that the Lord loved me. You know, I knew from a very young age that God was good, and I could feel his presence, you know, and it just was always such a love and a longing at the same time, because he longs for us. Like his heart burns for us. You we love because he first loved us. And so there's this measure of the heart of the Lord that is just constantly longing for his beloved, for his bride. But anyway, my point in saying that was, I always knew certain aspects of the Lord. But as I matured and as I got older and all of that kind of stuff, that the accountability, number one, gets more, because to what you're accountable for. And so as I began to, I had a dream when I was pregnant with my second child, and it was an encounter with the Lord. There were things that happened after that were significant, supernatural, all of that. But what it did was it brought me back to really focusing on the Lord and saying, okay, well, I want you to have my life. And in fact, this whole podcast that I'm doing right now is because I was listening to an old song, "You Can Have It All, Lord," and just reflecting on my life and how it cost you all. People don't always want to recognize that, but anyway, so when I started to walk with the Lord and follow the Lord, I had this opposition come, and it was demonic, and I was tormented for a long time. I'm not the only one in my house that was. One of my sons really was tormented. And I mean, that lasted for, 10 years, 10 or more. We did not comprehend spiritual things, like I was not raised in church. I was raised with a mother who was a seer and who would tell me these fascinating things that she would see, and it would scare me. And I would ask the Lord to not let me see anything. And I ended up having to repent of that, but especially when I found out that I'm going to see it anyway. You want to see what the Lord wants you to see. Like, you want to invite him into that space if you're seeing stuff. Definitely want to. So anyway, we went through this whole season of being tormented by darkness, and through that really got closer to the Lord. He uses everything to bring us closer to him, because that's where we want to be. That's where we say we want to be. And that is where we want to be. We want to be one with the Lord, because that's what we were created for. But I guess it was really in, 2019, when my oldest was diagnosed with cancer at the end of that year. And it just kind of started us on this path of everything kind of unfolding, if that makes sense. And so we got through the chemo. I say we, my son got through the chemo, and he was so just strong, and I'm so proud, of just who he is as a person. You really get to know who someone is when they are in extreme pain and are still considerate of others. That you talk about something that's humbling, is when your child is in anguish and looks at you and says, "I really hate that you have to see me like this." That goodness that's in him. I got to tell y'all, I don't know that that's in me. That's the Lord in him. That's like the Father's heart that he was just born with. That is just beautiful, and still to this day just leaves me kind of in awe of how kind and generous and considerate he just is as a person. But that's an aside. But in 2019, it just kind of started this whole process. In 2020, with COVID, it kind of exacerbated the issues that were coming up, and And it all ended up with this just realization of love and self. And, we create, again, we create our own realities. And sometimes when we're looking for safety, we create cages for ourselves. When we're looking to hide, we don't realize that we're putting ourselves in caves with darkness. And there's nothing there but depression. There's nothing there but anguish. There's nothing there but regrets. And man, like that it's a hard season to come out of those things. And I ended up parting ways with my husband. And I'm not going to go into that because I just don't want to. But I can say that there's so much love there and hope, But the thing about love is when you recognize that something is unhealthy, you being the one who is accountable to love, it falls on you. It really does. And so that ended, and everything kept unraveling. And so I ended up moving to a new state and navigating starting over your life and leaving my boys who were grown, but a mama's heart, and it always misses their children. Doesn't matter the age. Suffered loss of a nephew who still hurts. But even that, even the hurt of all of that, I could see the face of the Lord. I saw the Lord with my nephew. I saw the Father's heart for my husband, my kids. And in those places, you can't help but surrender. Because when you see love, true love that hung on a cross for you, and not only for you, but for the whole world. When you see what love is wanting to do in someone's life, when you see mercy, true mercy, it doesn't look like what you think it does. The love of God goes to the depths. It goes to the darkest places. It walks with us through the shadow of death. And I've seen that twice now with my nephew and with my mom. My mom passed recently, and she actually passed while I was reading Psalm 23. So it gives you a whole nother appreciation for, just those scriptures. But what I have learned through surrender, and I thought I was really going to talk more about surrender, but it seems like we're talking about suffering. I think they go hand in hand. But the thing about surrendering and suffering with the Lord is you get to know him. And there's such a hope in knowing him. There's such a recognition of things that are important and things that are not. And the one thing that I can say on this end, on this side, of whatever journey this is, the one thing I can say is that God is faithful. He is so faithful. And I see his hand on even the relationships that I've lost, even now. And it blesses me because you cannot be Jesus for anyone. You cannot drag your people to the cross. If Jesus doesn't demand people follow him, you can't do it either. And there's ways that we do that and we don't recognize it. There's ways that we impose our understanding even of love. We impose them on those that are closest to us. And we hold them accountable to the knowledge that we have and the understanding and revelations of love that we have, and they don't have that. And a lot of times it's the grace of God that they don't. Walking with the Lord exposes your heart because it's your heart that matters to the Lord. And we let someone else's heart be God's business. My baby's calling me right now. I bet you he felt me. Isn't that funny? We're so connected. We're like just people. People are so connected. But when we're walking with the Lord and we think that things are going to be easy, that's not biblical, The prosperity of the Lord is not, and it's not found in easy things. It's found in hardship. The treasures of God are found in hardship. They're found in the darkness. They're found in walking with him through that valley of the shadow of death. And he's worth knowing. He is worth knowing. So I just want to encourage whoever is out there that is struggling with true surrender, because true surrender means I am laying down my ego. I'm laying down my calling. I'm laying down my thoughts about the future, my hopes, my dreams. I'm laying down my children. I'm laying down my parents. I'm laying down the generations to come. I'm laying down everything at the feet of Jesus and letting him have it all. So when we tell him to take our life, we mean take the gifting back. We're surrendering even the goodness of God back to God. The callings of God back to God. And what it does is it rights it. So in his hand, those things are pure. In our hands, we are tempted to add humanity to everything that we do. We are tempted to add ego to everything that we do. But in the hands of Jesus, those things are purified again. And so what he releases back to us through us, because you're giving him everything that you are, and he is indwelling all of those things. So now when you release, it's not you releasing in your authority, but you're releasing in his. It's his power. He says it's not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. It's in his spirit. And so it is holy again. So revival comes because a surrendered vessel heard the Lord. That's it. It's so simple. So when things are hard, when you're going through the process of recognizing what belongs to the Lord, what you want to give him back, because you have a choice. But I really want to encourage you to recognize that there is nothing on this earth that is worth missing the Lord over. Nothing. And to those who haven't experienced the Lord yet, I know it doesn't make sense. Some things just have to be walked out. And the love of God is one of those things that as you start to wake up to it, there's just this longing to know more. There's this desire, this aching in the depths of who you are to see him enthroned on every throne that is within you. Because heaven is here. Be enthroned. Be enthroned. Like it's here. So to those who are going through the crushing, again, be encouraged. What is of God will remain. And when you give him everything, then he inhabits everything. It's all working out to your good. So Father, I just thank you. I thank you for your goodness. I thank you that you love us, that you have given us all things that pertain to life and godliness already, that you put your spirit in these earthen vessels, that you chose to dwell with man, and you chose to set up your temple in man. And so, Lord, I just thank you for cleansing the temple. I thank you, Lord, that you are tearing down everything that should be torn down, and that you are raising up everything that needs to be risen. That you are breathing life in the dead places and people's hearts, Lord, that you are calling them back up, that you are calling them forth to walk with you to a greater degree, Lord, to leave the past behind and to never again turn and look back, but to keep going forward, to keep walking with you like Enoch, to just walk with God. Father, I thank you for the invitation to walk with you through the hardships of life, through the good and the bad, because you get glory in both. And so, Father, I just bless these that are hearing my voice right now. I bless them, Lord. I bless them, and I pray, God, for wisdom and understanding, enlightenment in their mind, Lord, for eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to discern your voice in their lives, Lord, with just visions of you, because you're worth seeing. You're so worth seeing. Bless you guys. I just bless you. And I pray that this helps. Just keep going. You're going to make it.